at Cawthron in Nelson, and this is Tom, who is a scientist who has been studying a particular seaweed called karengo. Now, this seaweed has been collected from Kaikoura. Tom, why are you interested in this particular type?
Yeah, what we want to do in our research is understand what the different types of karengo are that are growing around different parts of New Zealand. And what we found is that there are different types. They have different look. They look different. Some are different colours. They have different shapes. And what we're also trying to do is go beyond that and say what else makes them different. So what kind of chemistry and compounds are in there that make them different from each other, and what makes them good to eat or not so good to eat. In fact, karengo is a traditional food of Maori, and so we know it's good to eat, but what species might be better than others.
And I guess you knowing that it's edible, you want to know what its nutritional values are.
That's right. So a lot of the things that we measure are the nutritional things, like the micronutrients and how much protein and how much carbohydrate and all those kind of things you might want to know, vitamins and that sort of thing.
And there's several different species.
There are. We've found about 3 or 4 different species that predominate in different parts of the Kaikoura coastline, and also we've worked around Akaroa Harbour and Banks Peninsula. And the interesting thing is there's different species that predominate in each of those areas and different kinds of locations. So it's really interesting as to why that is so, and what makes each one predominate in each area.
So what do you have to do in the lab to know that it's actually a different species? Because they all look very similar.
Yes, it's very challenging. So in the end, looking at it can only go so far, and each species can vary quite a bit during the season, and so the look of them overlaps. So in the end, what we have to do is extract the DNA from each of the samples and compare the DNA sequence, and that is a surefire way of telling which species is which.
What do you think the future is for this seaweed?
Well, I'm hoping it's quite bright. I mean, it's as you said, it's a traditional food of Maori, and it's eaten. Similar species are eaten around the world. It's similar to nori, which you find in sushi. And so what we're hoping is that we can help create an industry in New Zealand that utilises our own unique variety of seaweed and bring it to the world.
Fantastic. Hey, well, thanks for your time this morning, Tom. It's been really interesting to hear about a seaweed that is unique to Aotearoa that really could be something in the future. Thank you.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Cheers.